So after completing rounds 1 and 2 of the low front ridge, we have turned, I have chained 1. Now I'm going to slip stitch my way to that chain 2 corner. Now we're going to chain 2 and we're going to begin the elongated cable. So we're going to go ahead and start with the chain 2 corner. We'll go ahead and work 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more half double crochets, all worked in that chain 2 corner. Now we're going to begin by working front post and start in that very first stitch, front post double crochets in the next 3 stitches. Make sure you work around the body of these little single crochets. And then in the next stitch, we're going to work a half double crochet worked through the top loops. I'll repeat that for you again. This is going to be the repeat all the way across to the next corner. We're going to work 3 front post double crochets, 1 worked in each of the next 3 stitches, and then a half double crochet worked in the top loops of the next stitch. So go ahead and work this all the way to the next corner. Once you get near that first corner, and this goes for every corner as we go around, go ahead and work 2 front post double crochets, and then we work our corner. We will work 2 half double crochets, a chain 2, and then turn about 90 degrees, and then work those other 2 half double crochets right in that same chain 2 space. Okay, I just wanted you to see that you're only going to have 2 here. As we work the next round, what's going to happen is one of these half double crochets is going to become a post stitch, and I will show you how to do that. But then after that, we just continue. We're going to repeat this all the way around. So we work the same repeat, 3 front post double crochets and a half double crochet in that next stitch. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around. Be sure that when you get to the next corner that you only work 2 front post double crochets, because those are the only stitches you're going to have left. The stitch count across after we work this round, you're going to have 74 stitches on each side. That's going to give you, I believe, 296 stitches all the way around. All right, as we come around, I wanted to work these last 2 stitches for you. Go ahead and grab a lot of those strands as you work around where the connections were, and this will help smooth out that connection quite a bit. And then join with a slip stitch to that first half double crochet of the round, and as always, that chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And we're going to slip stitch our way to that chain 2 corner, and go ahead and chain 2, and we are going to turn our work to work now with the back side facing as we work the second round of this particular stitch. Now we're ready to work round 2. I've gone ahead and turned my work with the back side facing now, and let's go ahead and we're going to work a half double crochet in that first half double crochet. Now here is the second half double crochet right here in that chain 2. We're going to do something a little interesting. We're going to work, I'm going to include that chain 2 to try to hide it. I'm going to work a back post double crochet around both of those. You don't have to do it that way, but I think this will help it look a little better. And then we're going to work a back post double crochet around each of the next 2 stitches. And this is how you're going to start the first or each side of this round. I'll actually start the next side after I make the next turn, just to clarify, to make sure that you understand that. Because what we need to do is we needed to make sure that this was in a grouping of 3 for the next round. And then we work a half double crochet in that next stitch. I'll do this a couple times for you. Back post double crochet in the next 3 stitches. and then a half double crochet in that next stitch. Let me make sure that this background material is not changing to focus, and then I'll do that one more time. Back post, double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then half double crochet working through the top loops of that next half double crochet. So go ahead and work this all the way to the next corner, and this is what it should look like with the front side facing. You should have groups of 3 and then that recessed half double crochet. We are setting up the foundation for this elongated cable, and we will be crossing the cables on the next round, but go ahead and work that to the next corner. So after working this across to the next corner, I've ended with 3 back post double crochets. Go ahead and work half double crochets in those 2 stitches, and then in that chain 2 corner, work 1 half double crochet, chain 2, and 1 half double crochet. Now we're beginning the new side here. It's the same round but another side. Go ahead and work 1 half double crochet, and this is where you add the back post double crochet. So go ahead on that half double, we're working a back post double crochet, and then 1 back post double crochet over the next 2 as well, so that we turn this, let me show you, into a 3 grouping on that side, and then half double crochet in that next stitch. And so that's going to be your repeat all the way across to the next corner. Make sure that when you get to that corner, you're going to work in both of the half double crochets, and then for the chain 2 corner, a half double, chain 2, half double, and then we work 1 half double in that stitch, and then we work a back post double over that next stitch there, so that we have a 3 grouping with the back post stitches there. So go ahead and complete that all the way around. After working this all the way around, we're going to work our last corner with a half double crochet, a chain 2, and another half double crochet, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, just like so. Now we're going to turn, and let's go ahead and give it a chain. This is going to be round number 3 of the elongated cable. Let's go ahead and slip stitch to that chain 2 space, chain 2. We're going to go ahead and work a half double crochet, chain 2, and another half double crochet. Now we're going to begin working in the stitches, but before we do, let me just explain what I'm going to do. We're first going to half double crochet in the first 3 half double crochets, and then when we get to the section here, we are going to cross the cables. So let's go ahead, and we're going to half double crochet in the first 3 stitches, which again are half double crochets. Sounds kind of redundant there, I guess, because it is. After we do that, this is going to be how we cross the cable. Okay, we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, which are those front post stitches, and we're going to half double in that half double crochet. Now we are going to work front post trebles. Notice I wrapped the hook twice. We only use front post trebles when we are crossing the cables. And so we're going to work a front post treble crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, just like that. Now, working in front of the last 4 stitches, that would be the 3 front post trebles and that half double crochet, we're going to come back here and we're going to work front post trebles over each of these 3 stitches. Okay. And 1, 2, and 3, and we have crossed that cable. And now we work a half double crochet in that next half double crochet, just working in through the top loops. And now it's time to cross the next cable. We do the same thing. This is going to be what we're going to repeat all the way across to the next corner. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches, half double crochet in that next space, front post treble crochet in each of those next 3 stitches. And again, if you need to slow down to look at the treble crochet, just hit that little sprocket icon at the bottom right, should you need to do that. Now, working in front of these last 4 stitches, we're going to front post treble in the 3 stitches that we just skipped. Okay, and just like that. And again, we follow that up with a half double crochet in that next half double crochet. And so this is what we're going to do all the way until you get to the next corner. After working this all the way across, we come to the half double crochets. So we're going to work half double crochet, and then we come to the chain 2 corner, and we're going to work a half double crochet, chain 2, turn 90 degrees and do another half double crochet in that chain 2 space. And now we're going to work half double, and another half double crochet. And then we're going to continue on just like we did on this side. And let me show you. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cables crossed per side. So go ahead and work that all the way around, and then I will show you the join at the end of the round. After working that all the way around, I've worked the 2 half double crochets. Also keep in mind that this is the chain 2, that does not count as a stitch. And I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet of the round, and go ahead and slip stitch to that chain 2 space, chain 2. And now that we have the chain 2 and the back side is facing us, we're going to work a half double crochet over that first stitch. Let me try that one again. There we go. Okay, now just a reminder, the next stitch right here is a chain, so make sure that we don't mistake that for a half double crochet. We're going to work over the next half double crochet and then 1 more half double crochet. So you should start each side off with working 3 half double crochets. Now we're going to be working over this crossed cable. Okay, 3 back post double crochets just as they come. Let me turn this up so you can see. So we've done these 3. I can feel these on the other side. Now in between that last stitch and the next stitch, this is right in the center where the cable was crossed from the last round, work a half double crochet right in the middle. And now we're going to work 3 more back post double crochets over the other side of that cable. 1, 2, and 3. Now this is where I'm just going to do a quick explanation. We did add a half double crochet there, but this half double crochet we are going to skip, and by adding the 1 half double crochet here and skipping this one, we actually maintain the exact same stitch count. Or actually we are going to add some in the corners, but going across the sides we're not going to be adding any stitches by doing this. Now we're going to half double crochet in that next stitch just like that. That's going to be the half double crochet which is in between the larger cables. And now we're going to do that again, and that's the repeat. I'll do it for you one more time. We're going to back post double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So that was 1, 2, and 3. And then working between the space in between the last stitch and the next stitch. Just to be clear, this is not a stitch here. We're working in between where those cables cross, just like that. And now 3 more back post double crochets, and again skip this next half double and then work a half double in the next half double crochet. Okay, and if I turn and show you with the front side facing, you can see what that looks like. It looks a lot better from this side. So go ahead and work this all the way until you get to the next corner. Okay, once you've worked that to the first corner, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets to work. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more, 4, and now we're going to work our corner, which is going to be a half double crochet, chain 2, and another half double crochet. Now going forward across the next side, you're always going to have one half double crochet less here. So we have 1, 2, 3 half double crochets, and then again we begin the 3 back post double crochets, half double in between the first and the last stitch at the center of the cable, and then 3 more back post double crochets, followed by skip that half double and then half double in that next half double crochet. So just like we've done across the other side. So go ahead and work this all the way around. At the end of round 4 of the elongated cable, and this is after we've worked the half double, chain 2, half double for the corner, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round. And let's go ahead and turn. And go ahead and chain 1 at the beginning of the 5th round, and go ahead and do a slip stitch to that chain 2 corner. Now we're going to chain 2, and for this round we're going to be work similar to the first round in that we're going to work 2 half double crochets and then a chain 2 and then 2 half double crochets for that next corner. Okay, now we're going to work in the tops of the other half double crochets until we get to the cable portion. I'll go ahead and give you that count in just a second here. Okay, so to begin this side, now this is going to be the side that has more half double crochets. After those 2 half double crochets in the corner, you're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half double crochets. And then again, this is going to be very similar to the way round 1 was worked, and this is going to be your repeat all the way across, half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, half double crochet in that half double crochet, working through the top loops, and then 3 more front post double crochets. Okay, after that we work a half double crochet, which is in between the cables, and so that's going to be your repeat all the way until you get, let's go ahead and show you the corner. When you get to the corner, we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets, followed by 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets in this corner. And then as we go forward, remember we're going to have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's always going to be 1 more half double crochet going this direction than at the end of the side. That's just because of the multiples that we're working with this particular stitch. Okay, so go ahead and work that all the way around. At the end of round 5 of the elongated cable, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round. Now we're going to slip stitch in the next stitch and slip stitch to that chain 2 space, chain 2, and we are going to turn our work so that the back side is facing, and this is going to be very similar to round number 2 except that we're going to have to work these half double crochets. Now remember, as you work these, let me just point out once again that this chain space is not, right here, is not a stitch. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to work in the half double crochets spaces. 1, 2, make sure we don't work that chain. 3, 4, 5, and 6. After those half double crochets, just like we did in round 2, we're going to work 3 back post double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3, and then we work a half double crochet in that half double crochet, and then 3 more back post double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and again followed by a half double crochet. So go ahead and work that all the way across until you get to the corner. When you get to the corner, let's go ahead and just take a look at that quickly. When you get to the corner, we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 half double crochets. Then we're going to work 1 half double crochet, chain 2, and then 1 half double crochet in the corner. So after working this all the way around, and I have worked my half double crochet, chain 2, half double in that chain 2 corner, I'm going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round, and let's go ahead and we're going to turn our work. Okay, the front side facing. I just wanted to show you what you should have, and notice that the stitches are going to increase over here as that corner grows. Okay, so now the next 2 rounds, I'm going to actually have you repeat the last 2 rounds right here. So I'll get you started, but I'm going to have you just do the next 2. Go ahead and chain 1, and you can slip stitch to that chain 2 corner, chain 2. Now with the front side facing, I'm going to have you work 2 half double crochets in that corner, chain 2, and 2 more half double crochets. Okay, and so the way you would work these next 2 rounds, of course, 1 would have the front side facing, so you'll be repeating round 5 and then round 6. Okay, so on the ones with the front side facing, you will work 2 half double crochets in the corner, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. On the rounds with the back side facing, you'll just work 1 half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. Just wanted to mention that. And then we're just going to work these half double crochets, 1 in each, all the way until you reach the post stitches. Once you reach the post stitches, you work front post double crochet, half double crochet, and then front post double crochet all the way across. So go ahead and work rounds number 7 and 8, which again is a repeat of rounds 5 and 6. At the end of this round, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, and let's go ahead and turn and see what we have. You can see how the corner is growing, and you see how the cables also are much more defined. Okay, so I'm actually going to give you an assignment. You know how to do these stitches now, or you should, and if you need any stitch support, all you need to do is back up to the point here, which would be the elongated cable round 3. I'm so used to working these in rows that this is unusual to work them in rounds. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you repeat round 3, which is where the cable is crossed, round 4, which is with the back side facing. This is after the cables have been crossed. That's where you work the half double crochet in between the cable crossing. And then round 5 and round 6. So that's round 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the elongated cable. Now the only thing that's going to be different as you go forward with this is that you're going to have the extra stitches in the corners. And of course, these numbers are going to vary with each round. I will have those numbers written in the pattern. And when you get to the corners, you should be working 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet when the front side is facing, and when the back side is facing, you're only going to need to work 1 half double crochet, chain 2, 1 half double crochet for those corners. Okay, so go ahead and work the next 4 rounds, and then I'll show you what I have. So after repeating those 4 rounds, I'm going to join with a slip stitch after I formed that corner. And since it has the back side facing, we're just doing 1 half double crochet, chain 2, 1 half double. And let's go ahead and take a look at what you should have. This is what the corner should look like. And these are your elongated cables. If I can get it, there we go. Okay, now we have the front side facing. Let's go ahead and chain 1 and go ahead and slip stitch to that chain 2 corner, chain 1, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to work single crochets in every stitch around, and simply do the first corner with a single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet, and that's what you're going to work in every corner. The other stitches, we're just going to work a single crochet worked through the top loops of each stitch all the way around. So go ahead and work that round. After working those single crochets all the way around, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. Go ahead and give it a chain 1. Now we are going to continue. We're not going to turn. We're going to continue to have the front side facing, and we are going to work another 2 rounds of the low front ridge. Let me show you what that is again, just like we worked here and here, okay, where we work in the front loop only. So what we are going to do is we are going to skip the chain 2 space, and we're going to go right to the first single crochet, which is right here, and working only in the front loop, we are going to slip stitch our way all the way around. When we get to each chain 2 corner, just skip that chain 2 and just continue slip stitching, working only in the front loop. And then as you come around, we will join just like we did in the earlier rounds, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, and then we will work, you will turn, and then we will work in the remaining loop and single crochet in each stitch all the way around, working a chain two, working a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the chain 2 corners that remain. So go ahead and work those 2 rounds. After working this all the way around, I've worked my chain 2 corner with a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. We do have 1 more stitch that we need to work a single crochet in, that extra loop that was left from the other side. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. Now you should have 108 single crochets across every side. In addition to that, you will have the 4 chain 2 corners. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn. We're going to chain 1. Now we need to work our way through 2 stitches with slip stitches to that chain 2 corner. It's very important. Okay, once you get to the corner, we are going to be working with the front side facing, so make sure that you do have the front side facing you at this point. Okay, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work the corner, single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. So after completing that chain 2 corner with a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, we're going to begin the cable stitch. But first we're going to single crochet in the first and the last stitch across the row. And this is what we're going to do. This is how you work this stitch. Single crochet in the first or the next stitch, chain 3, skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, single crochet in the next stitch. Now we're going to turn our work to work in the 3 chains, and I'm just going to work along one side of the chain. We're not going for the back bump or anything complicated. We're going to just work a single crochet in each of these chains. Let's try that and get all the loops or all the strands there. Okay, so we've worked 1 single crochet in each of those chains. Now we slip stitch to that last single crochet. Now we're going to turn back around, and I'm going to bring my yarn to the back side. And if you pull this down, you can see the 2 stitches that we skipped. Go ahead and single crochet in both of those stitches, and that completes the first cable. I'm going to do this a couple more times for you. Chain 3, skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2. We're going to single crochet in that next stitch, turn to work in the chains, single crochet in each chain, and then we're going to slip stitch in that next stitch, which was the single crochet that was last worked along the edge there. And now we pull this back and we see the 2 stitches that we skipped. Go ahead and work single crochets in both of those stitches. And that's cable number 2. I'll do this for you one more time. Chain 3, skip 2, single crochet in that next stitch, turn to work in the chain, single crochet in each of those chains, slip stitch in the next stitch. Now I'm going to turn. I'm going to bring the yarn behind the hook like this. This is just easier to do with bringing the yarn to the back when you have a lot of fabric like we do now with this throw. And then single crochet in the 2 stitches that we skipped. And that's what you need to work all the way across until you get to the next corner. Let me explain too that if you need more stitch support or you want to look at this on a longer video, I do have a link that's in the video description below of a video that is only on this particular stitch. It is worked across the row, not in the round, but you could clearly get another deeper understanding of it should you need that. Now we're going to work this all the way across to the next corner. You're going to have 1 stitch remaining. You're going to work a single crochet in that stitch, and then you're going to work the corner, chain, a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet when you get to the corner, and then we're going to work another single crochet in the first single crochet, and then we begin our cable stitch in the next stitch after that. So work that in that manner all the way around. Okay, after working this all the way across the one side, you will have 1 single crochet left. Go ahead and work a single crochet in that space, and then when we get to the chain 2 corner, you work the single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in that corner. Now to begin working across the other side, and you're going to do this around the other 3 sides, single crochet in that first stitch, and then we begin the cable stitch with your single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet in the next stitch. I'll just go ahead and complete this one for you. Single crochet in those 3 chains, and After we do that, we're going to work a slip stitch in that next stitch, and then we bring our yarn to the back and then work those 2 single crochets in those 2 stitches that were skipped. I just wanted to give you a view of the corner once we finish that. So go ahead and work this. I did have 35 cables across, so go ahead and work that all the way around, and I will show you how to connect and turn and begin the second round of the cable stitch. After working this all the way across, I've worked my last single crochet, and I am now ready to join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. I'm going to go ahead and chain, and I am going to actually slip stitch to the corner. Now we're ready to turn. Okay, now we're ready to start round number 2, and this is worked with the back side facing. This is working the cable stitch. Okay, we're going to chain 1. Now we have to work a single crochet over the single crochet, and remember there is a chain 1 that we need to skip, and we can actually maybe look. Okay, so the next, we're skipping this chain right here. The next stitch is worked right here. Those are those 2 single crochets that were worked at the end or the beginning of the round. Okay, now we are actually working excuse me, behind the cable stitches. For every cable stitch that we work behind, we're going to work 3 single crochets. So what I'm going to have you do is work 2 single crochets in that next stitch, and then pull back this cable a bit, and we work 1 single crochet there, and that's what we're going to do all the way across to the next corner. 2 single crochets in that next space, and then if you pull back the cable a bit, and put 1 there. And we're just going to do this all the way across. 2 in the next, and then 1 more. So let me show you what this looks like from the other side. So behind each cable, you're going to have 1, 2, 3 stitches. Each cable, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and work that across to the next corner. After working 2 single crochets and then 1 behind each cable, we have 3 more stitches. We're going to work single crochet in the next stitch, which is also part of where one of the cables was begun on the other side. 2 and 3. So it's very important at the beginning, before we started working behind the cables, you had 2 single crochets to work first, and then you have 3 at the end. Because so far we have worked 110 single crochets. Now we get to the corner, we're going to work single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet, and then we're going to begin this again. Single crochet 1, 2 stitches, and now we are working behind the cable. We work 2 single crochets and then 1 all the way across, and then when we get to the end of the working across to the next corner, just like we did here, we work 3 single crochets and then the corner. Okay, so once you've worked the corners on both ends, you should have 100, this is including these single crochets here, 112 single crochets across each side. Okay, so go ahead and finish working that all the way around. Okay, I'm going to give you another assignment. Once you finish working these single crochets, we're going to go ahead and work 2 more rounds so that we complete another low front ridge, rounds 1 and 2. This is the same as the way we worked it in rounds 8 and 9, should you want to go back to look at those stitches, those 2 rounds again. So after we finish the single crochet round, we're going to turn with the right side facing and then work low front ridge rows, or rounds rather, 1 and 2 again. After completing the low front ridge, this is what you should have. after those rounds. And now we are ready to begin the Celtic weave. The front side should be facing. Go ahead and slip stitch to that corner, chain 2, and we're going to work 2 double crochets in that corner, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets worked all in the same place in that chain 2 corner. After working that chain 2 corner, we are going to actually skip the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work a front post treble crochet in the next 2 stitches worked around the stitch. Okay, after we've done those 2 stitches, we're going to work in front of these last 2 stitches, and we're going to work these 2 stitches. We're going to work front post treble. We're not going to work in the end stitch on this round. Okay, so we're going to work a front post treble in those 2 skipped stitches. Okay, now this is going to bring you to what you're going to do all the way across until the next corner. We're going to skip the next 2 stitches. We are going to front post treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now working in front of these 2 stitches, we are going to front post treble crochet in those 2 stitches that we skipped. Now I do have a separate video, a stitch video on the Celtic weave should you need additional help, or sometimes just looking at it with different background, different color, sometimes just helps to make it click better for you. If you need that, look in the video description below and there will be a link for the Celtic weave. Okay, now we're going to do this again. Skip the next 2 stitches, front post treble in the next 2 stitches, working in front of these 2 stitches, we're going to front post treble in the 2 stitches that we skipped. Okay, and let's take a look at what we have here. So this is what you're going to work all the way across. So go ahead and work this to the corner, and I will show you how to work the corner. After working the Celtic weave all the way across, you should have 1 stitch left. We're going to skip that stitch and we're going to go right for the corner. In that chain 2 space, you're going to work 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. Okay, so that's what you should work all the way across. I'll go ahead and start you on the next side, but the next side is going to be begun in the same manner. Remember, we're skipping the first stitch and the last stitch right here, and then skip actually the next 2 as well. So to start the side, skip 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then we work front post treble in the next 2 stitches, working in front of these last 2 stitches. We're going to front post treble over these 2 stitches. So go ahead and do those 2 stitches. We do not work over those corner stitches for this round at least. Okay, and then from there you just continue by skipping 2 stitches, front post treble, etc., just like you've done all the way across. So go ahead and work this all the way around. I just wanted to give you another piece of information. If you count each of these 4 stitch clusters, you should have 28 per side. After working the Celtic weave all the way around, we are skipping the last stitch and working a slip stitch to the top of the first stitch of the round. Now we need to slip stitch to that chain 2 space. Let's go ahead and turn. We will need to turn to work with the back side facing. Go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and now we are going to work back post treble crochets. So we will start by skipping the first 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're going to work back post treble crochets over the next 2 stitches. Again, I highly recommend you take a look at the Celtic Weave video that I have posted in the video description should you need additional help with this stitch. Now, working over in front of these 2 stitches as seen from the front side, we're going to work back post trebles around these 2 stitches right here. Let's try that again. These are the 2 double crochets that we just worked in the corner stitch. Now remember, this stitch, the chain, does not actually count as a stitch, so we're not going to use that or include that. Okay, so I just worked those 2 back post double crochets. Now this is going to be the repeat all the way across. Skip the next 2 stitches and then work back post treble over these 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Now working in front of these as seen from the front side, we're going to back post treble over these 2. Now make sure you come in from the back side. Okay, and you can use your fingers, the tall man and thumbkin there to help guide your crochet hook. Okay. And we're going to work that all the way across. Let me do it one more time. This is a little challenging, and like I say, if you need additional stitch support, please take a look at that other video. Skip the next 2 stitches. We're going to back post treble over these next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Working in front of these 2 stitches as seen from the front side. Okay, so we're bringing it around. And we're going to work first this stitch, the back post treble, and then the next stitch. Okay, and let me show you what this looks like from the front side. It's very important that it looks like this. So go ahead and work this all the way to the next corner, and I will show you how to proceed from there. I've worked this all the way to the corner, and let me show you how to work the last 4 stitches. I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches here, and then I'm going to work back post trebles over these 2 double crochets that were worked in the corner, the chain 2 corner, during the last round. Okay, after doing that, I'm going to work in front of these 2 as seen from the front side. We're going to back post treble crochet over those 2 stitches there. Okay, and this is going to bring you to the corner, and then we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets in that corner. And then we do the same thing again. I'll go ahead and start you on this other side, but I'm just going to have you go all the way around. I'm going to skip these 2 stitches, back post treble crochet over the next 2 stitches, working in front of these 2 stitches as seen from the front side. We're going to back post treble over the other 2 double crochets, just like we did in the last corner. And then we will continue that along all the way around. Let me just show you quickly here what this would look like from the front side. Okay, so go ahead and work this round all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and work the last few stitches here for you as we come around the corner. We're going to work back post trebles over those 2 double crochets, and then the next 2 stitches we're back under here. Okay, and this is going to bring us to the corner. After working this all the way to the corner, we go ahead and work our 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch. I just want to make sure that you understand where to join is the first treble, back post treble crochet of the round. Join with a slip stitch, and let's go ahead and give it a chain, and now we're going to turn. Okay, this is the way the Celtic weave should look after you've completed 2 rounds. Now I've showed you how to work round 1 and 2. I'm going to begin round 1 again to show you how it is begun. But what we're going to do is we're going to repeat rounds 1 and 2 5 more times. So there should be a total of 12 rounds of Celtic weave after we finish this section. So we're going to repeat this 5 more times, repeating rounds 1 and 2. But I'm going to go ahead and start you. So what we're going to need to do is we need to slip stitch to each stitch until we get to that chain 2 space, and then we're going to work our corner, which, just like the last one, is chain 2, work 2 double crochets, chain 2 for that corner, and then 2 more double crochets. It's very similar. We're doing the same thing that we did with round 1, but it's going to look different since we're already working in the Celtic weave instead of working this in the single crochet. So I'll do a few stitches for you. Skip these 2 stitches, and we're going to front post treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. Working in front of the 2 stitches we just completed, we're going to front post treble in the 2 stitches that we skipped. And in this case, it's the 2 double crochets in that chain 2 corner. Now we skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then we front post treble in the next 2 stitches, which are the stitches that we can see. After we complete those, working in front of these 2 stitches, we are going to work in the 2 stitches that we skipped. And you do need to use your fingers to feel these, to find these. And so the first one is here. They're kind of hidden there. And then the next one is right here. I'll do this for you one more time, although if you've made it through 2 rounds, you probably understand this already, but I'll do it one more time. Skip these 2 stitches, and we're going to front post treble in the next 2 stitches. Believe it or not, this becomes a very relaxing stitch once your fingers understand what you're doing. I know there is a learning curve to it, but once you get past that, I believe this will be a nice relaxing stitch for you. So now working in front of these 2 stitches, we're going to front post treble in these 2 hidden stitches right here that we skipped. 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and you can see this developing quite well. So all right, after working the Celtic weave around for 10 rounds, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. Now this obviously is the back side facing. The front side has, more the woven look. What we're going to do now is we're going to work a scalloped edging. And the way we're going to do this, I'm going to do this with the back side facing, and I'm going to explain why. I really like the back side of this stitch for a scallop or for a shell. And we're going to be working treble crochets for these scallops or shells. And now if you want the front side facing, you're going to have to work it a little differently than what I'm showing you, but I'm going to show you how to work this so that the back side with all the, I think it has like kind of like an antique look to it. So that is what we're going to be featuring. All right, so to start this final round, we're going to go ahead and we're going to work a single crochet, and watch what I do. We're not working it in the top stitch here. We're going to work it in between the stitches. So just bring your hook down like this. And then we're going to skip these 4 stitches. Now we're going to work in the space right here where you see my finger. We're not going to work in a stitch. We're going to work in the space between these 2 treble crochets. It should be very obvious where these spaces are. And we're going to work a total of 9 treble crochets. So go ahead and work 9 of these treble crochets right in the same space. After working 9 of these trebles, this is what you should have. Okay, now in the next space, that's between where these 4 stitches cross, we're just going to work a single crochet. Again, we're not working it into any particular stitch, just in the space in between the stitches. Okay, now we skip the next 4 stitches and we work another 9. Oops, let's go ahead and make those treble crochets. Wrap the hook twice. So go ahead and work 9 treble crochets in the next space. And just like we did with the first shell, after we work 9 treble crochets, then we work a single crochet in between those 2 treble crochets, or actually it's like in between the clusters. Well, let me show you what this looks like with the front side facing. Okay, do you see how that, I just think the texture of the back side with these trebles just gives it a richer, just a richer look. So that's what I'm going to have you do. Go all the way, working this all the way to the next corner, but do not work the corner just yet. After working these shells all the way across, go ahead and work your single crochet in the next space. Now we're going to skip the space here, and we're going to work a larger, or actually a scallop with more stitches right here in the corner. So go ahead and work 12 of these treble crochets in the corner stitch, or in the corner chain 2 space. After working the 12 stitches in that chain 2 corner, go ahead and skip the space here and the space in between these 4 cross stitches. Go ahead and work your single crochet there, and just continue this all the way around, working back to 9 treble crochets in that space. So go ahead and work this all the way around. Now when you get to the other corners, you may have to adjust this slightly, just like I showed you here, but that's okay to do, and it will help to spread these shells about. So if you have any questions, just check the pattern. It will be written out explicitly as to how you do this, should you need that information. After working across that second side, go ahead, instead of skipping the space like we did at the beginning, go ahead and work a single crochet in that space, and then go ahead and work 12 of the treble crochets in that corner. So this is what you should have for that corner, and just go ahead and repeat the beginning of this round all over again. I'll go ahead and I will start you again. We're just going to, we worked a single crochet here, so we're going to work 9 treble crochets once again. So go ahead and finish working this all the way around. At the end of the round, we've just worked the 12 treble crochets in that chain 2 corner, and we're going to join with a slip stitch to the very first single crochet of the round. And go ahead and give it a chain. Okay, after we've given that a chain and a tug, we're going to go ahead and cut a nice long strand. I like to leave at least, 4 to 5 inches or more. And I'm going to show you right now why that is. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our tapestry needle or yarn needle, and we're going to thread this. And I like to work this with the back side facing, and just so happens we still have the back side facing. And you're going to have quite a bit of practice doing this because there should be quite a few strands. If you've gone all the way through with this, I have used almost 13 complete skeins of yarn. So we go ahead and we're going to bring this down into the work. There's no, absolute rules or anything on this. You just want to be very careful to hide these strands as best as you can. And the best way to do that is by running them under the stitches. So let's see. I want to try to get over here. Let's see if I can go up here a little bit. And it's going to be pretty easy to hide most of these since everything is done in one color. You don't have to worry about hiding it under similar color items. And there are lots and lots of stitches like right here. Okay, that should be good enough. And I run it under a whole series of these double crochets. And after doing that, go ahead and cut close to your work, but make sure that you don't cut the stitches. And then just give it a little tug there, and that stitch, or that thread rather, is hidden forever. So I've got quite a few more to do, so I'm going to go ahead and hide more of these, and then I will show you what it looks like when I've completed doing that. Well, I hope you enjoyed crocheting the Celtic Mandala throw with me today. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and like if you have liked this project, and the notification bell. Well, thank you for joining me, and I have a lot of things coming your way, so please stay tuned. God bless. Bye-bye.